Welcome back to the 1997 Rose Bowl between Ohio State and Arizona State. We rejoin the action at the start of the second quarter. The Sun Devils have the ball on their own 20, trailing 7-0.
In the first 15 minutes, well, we saw the first touchdown of the new year scored in the state of California, and it was the Ohio State Buckeyes.
19 yards passing.
Foot was in. After the conference, the touchdown. Now, Jake the Snake and the Sun Devils, who are having trouble against this defensive line, wanted to go long, and that was Sean Springs, who was locked up with Poole. That's the matchup we will see all day. Number 24, his father, once played running back with the Dallas Cowboys. Sean, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten, and a great footnote to that story. He did not intercept one pass this year, and Jake Plummer is matched up against one of the best corners in all of college football. Number 24, and I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 on the other side, Ty Howard, is not bad either. So it is second down and 10 for Plummer and the Sun Devils. Battle. Bounces off the first tackler, but Belisari cleans it up after Ty Howard made the initial hit.
You know who really broke the play was Damon Moore, the strong safety up there on the tight end side. He didn't make the play. He just ruined the play, Brent. He went in there and stripped all the blockers, left the guys out there so the inside-out pursuit could make the play. He'll be coming flashing from the right side of your screen. You'll see number 13. He'll snap the ball. He'll come flying in there. The right side. Now you see Brable 94 working inside. See both blockers go down. That cleared the lane. Real nice job of strong safety play by Damon Moore.
Ricky Boyer, number 24, the third wideout, goes in motion. The Sun Devils try to open things out. They flare it down to Battle with a great move, and Battle to the 31-yard line, and a first down for the Sun Devils. You know, there was a very hard luck story here when Arizona State rolled in to play UCLA. Michael Martin, who until that time was their starting running back, went down with a neck injury and was unable to play. And this man, number 8, Terry Battle, stepped in and rushed for better than 1,000 yards and gave the Sun Devils that breakaway dash in the backfield, and we saw such a nice move that time. And now he'll come over to the side, and Michael Martin on the Sun Devils sideline watching his teammates. J.R. Redmond replaces him, and J.R. Redmond, not too bad either, pounds to the 40-yard line.
There they go, running their version of the isolation fullback lead. Big old Jeff Polk, number 44. He goes in there and takes on Katzenmoyer, who was on the right side, just nailed, and the play broke back. 45, Katzenmoyer goes into the hole, slides, bang, he doesn't get the block. The other linebacker absorbs the block, opens up the hole. But he did move Katzenmoyer in the direction of the fullback. Look for divide action coming up.
2nd and 1, and Hawk steps off to the right. If they come back power, but they send a tight end, Kendall, over the other direction. Play fake, and Jake's going to roll left. Tight end to safety battle. Tries to throw the block, and Jake's got a first down at the 45-yard line.
Mike Grable, 94, looks awfully quick coming inside out on that to make the play. Yes, they made the first down, but Grable really looks fresh. Last time I saw him play against Indiana, studied him on the Michigan film, he looked like he was a little bit worn down. He played so hard on every snap. Had a nice visit with his mom and dad, Brent, at the parents' luncheon yesterday. Dad's a principal of high school, mom a principal of a middle school.
So nice to see all the families who come out here with their youngsters to the Rose Bowl on first down. Jake now rolling, just sprinting out to the right-hand side. So what now the Sun Devils have decided to do is, against that enormous pressure up front by the Buckeyes, they are simply having Jake Plummer move the pocket left, then move it back on over to the right.
Now what Fred Puggich will do to counter that, Brent, instead of blitzing inside, he'll bring outside linebackers off the corner and try to lock the quarterback inside that pocket. There's Fred Puggich. Now scratching your nose may not be a signal. You know, it's allowed to itch. You're allowed to itch on the sideline.
Jack Arute, Michael Martin down there. What's his status? Will he be able to play next year for the Sun Devils, Jack?
Well, let's ask him. Michael, what is your status for athletics next year?
Oh, I'm full go next year. I'll be ready to go in the spring.
How tough is it to sit out this Rose Bowl, though?
Oh, it's so hard. I just gotta deal with it. You know, tell the players what I see, just turn them on.
What about the attitude of this team?
Oh, they ready to play. I think we're kind of too hype right now, but they gonna settle down and come through.
I'll tell you what, he's got a smile, but it's tough on an athlete like him.
Got a nice earring, too, Jack. First down and
I'm sort of surprised you haven't tried one yet.
Then the defense will be penalized 15 yards. That carries with it an automatic first down, so it'll be 1st and 10.
explanation time.
There's a gain of 5 yards on the play. First and 10 for the Sun Devils, the 48.
So after Terry Monk sorted everything out, it'll be a first down for the Sun Devils at the 47-yard line. A personal foul on both teams. Movement.
The hard count's getting them. They better stay with it. Coming into this ball game, Arizona State used a lot of very quick counts. Come up on the line of scrimmage and go, and they were going to change up, and that change up is effective.
Dead ball foul, offside, defense remains first down.
He just drops on a knee. He realizes what's happened. He doesn't want to just drops down there. Hey, just give us 5. I'll take it.
Moves the ball in the Buckeyes territory.
So the ball is moved to the Bucs' 47-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 5. Fellows in the striped shirts dominating here over the last minute or so. Play fake by Plummer, fires high, great catch by the tight end Bush. First down, Sun Devils. There's a young man who missed several games this year because of an injury. Steve Bush, the senior tight end from Phoenix, Arizona, and he just reached up and snapped it out of the air like a wide receiver.
And he had good time to throw. At that time, Juan Roque, 74 left tackle, did a real good job on Vrabel. You'll see right here on the right-hand side of your screen, good pass protection. That allowed the tight end to cross the formation. That takes time. Good technique by Roque. Gives him time. Nice little throwing lane to throw the football. Good job.
Sun Devils come back with Battle on a first down running play, and Battle gains 8 yards before he is out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Ty Howard, the corner on that side, and Battle, he just keeps showing you that dash when he gets to the corner, and sooner or later against a bump and run corner, he's going to get free.
Yeah, he may not even see him coming, Brent. In talking with Battle, I asked him about his running style, and he said, Coach, I would rather run outside tackle and wider. He says, I don't picture myself as being a real good inside runner. I want to get outside.
To the short side, slot man now will come back.
They're in the fair front now. Everybody covered.
Fake.
Whoa!
Wow. Katzenmoyer comes up big on that play.
See, in that defense, you cover all the offensive linemen with defensive linemen. No offensive lineman can get on this gorilla, and he just moves in and pops the play. He should make that play. Nobody can get to him with that scheme. See, he's free to slide right in there and pop it. When he hits you, he normally has his knees bent, his back straight, and he'll knock you on your back.
J.R. Redmond. He's the fellow who threw that pass back to Plummer. He's in as running back. He's replaced Battle on 3rd and 2. He flares over the middle, and first down, Sun Devils. Devin Kendall, the senior tight end from Fremont, California. So on this drive, the senior quarterback, Jake Plummer, involves 2 tight ends.
And whenever you use motion against man-to-man coverage, you loosen it up just a little bit. That tight end came in motion across the formation. He moves. He's to the left side of your screen now. He started on the right side. He'll come underneath on the left side. There he is. See, he had a little cushion now that he would not have had if he hadn't gone in motion.
Arizona State trails it by a touchdown, but they've moved inside the Buckeye 30. Redmond. And he is short of the 25-yard line.
You think you can call who made that tackle again?
The Cat.
The Cat.
Winfield
That was
Garnett.
counteraction. Now, you'd think a true freshman playing inside linebacker in a Rose Bowl might be fooled a little bit by counteraction. Not this guy. Having the two experienced outside linebackers in Ryan Miller and Belisari out there to calm him down and teach him through the year, now he plays like a senior.
Number 25.
Jeff Wilson checks into that defensive line. On second down, pump fake Plummer. Now goes in zone against the nickel man. Great catch, touchdown. Oh, what a grab by Ricky Boyer. Winfield can't believe the catch that Boyer made in the end zone. He thought he had him locked up.
Robert Neese to attempt the point after.
Robert Neese. Jake Plummer, the holder. Tied at the Rose Bowl.
Then the use of motion by a receiver, loosening up man-to-man coverage. A little pump fake right there. Boyer did a good job of looking back over his outside shoulder. And he is a CIF sprint champion, so if he has to turn it on and make it, whoa, my gosh, that didn't look like he caught the football. I'm not sure he caught that football. Woo.
That boo you hear, ladies and gentlemen, is from the folks from Columbus. They're watching it on the big board out here, and they see that ball touch the ground, too.
Two things could have been called. Pass interference could have been called as well.
So the first big break of this Rose Bowl game goes to Arizona State. We're tied at 7.
You're watching Classic Bowl Week on Classic Sports Network. This Classic Sports Network presentation is brought to you by Ricola, the all-natural herb cough drop imported from Switzerland. Soothes throats and relieves coughs naturally.
We hope you don't mind us blowing our own horn, but Ricola, the original all-natural herb cough drop imported from Switzerland, now comes in a soothing new throat syrup you're gonna love.
This is NBA Live 98 with Mel Mutombo. Dikembe, how do you let up a big guy?
Welcome back to the 1997 Rose Bowl between Ohio State and Arizona State. We rejoin the action with the Sun Devils set to kick off to start the second half. The game is tied at 7.
Dick, I think you make such a wonderful point about Arizona State in the second half.
Well, Brent, they have dominated playing second half. They almost like this kind of environment, to be even or behind. That's Jake the Snake's competitive ability coming out, but they've outscored opponents in the second half 230, all right, to 72. That's a big spread. Ohio State, though, is dominating the line of scrimmage from a defensive standpoint. They've got to really feel good about their defense, but again, they've got to get some offense going, too.
Are they as good when they're tied at the half? So the national championship is very much up in the air. Not only this game, but tomorrow night on ABC, the Nokia Sugar Bowl, the rematch, Florida State against Florida. Now, if this game stays tight, and let's say that Arizona State pulls it out with a late field goal, wins this game 10-7 or 14-10 or something of that nature, Florida has to feel very good about its chances to jump ahead. So a lot of things are unfolding here in the second half. Very much up in the air as Arizona State will kick it off, and the Buckeyes will get the first possession of the second half. And Dick, did the numbers reveal anything from the first half?
Really, the numbers reveal what the first half has been all about, a 7-7 football game, but no turnovers. Time of possession slightly in favor of Arizona State, but rushing yards for Arizona State, 17 yards. They come into this ball game averaging 248. Other key thing is that Poole has not caught a ball here in the first half, and he's their key guy.
Joe Germain opens the second half as he finished the first.
For
the Buckeyes.
This guy right here has been the spark, though, in the first half. Quarterback scrambling ability, moving, throwing the ball downfield.
Calhoun and Pearson, the running backs. And again, they move the tight end over on Rogers. On a running play for 3 yards. it is interesting as we follow one of our main storylines, how the Buckeyes, Dick, have been able to lock up on number 59, Derek Rogers. Orlando Pace certainly is over on that side, but Rogers has not been a factor in this football game.
No, he has not. And, you know, one reason there, Ohio State's done a good job of staying on a third and real long where they can just tee off and come after you. So they've kept them where they've got both defense to run and the pass.
The base 4-3 is the look being shown by the Sun Devils. This is Pearson on a delay, and they'll close down hard with Derek Smith in there on the hit, the linebacker. Jack Arute, what about the two coaches here at halftime at the Rose Bowl?
Well, naturally, I asked John Cooper about that controversial touchdown by Arizona State, and he said, hey, it was a great play. He didn't want to talk about it. What he did want to talk about was momentum. That may be the reason why you're seeing Jermaine starting the second half. On the other side of the ball, for Arizona State, Bruce Snyder said, I have to calm my guys down. He feels the emotional level's too high. The other says, I'd like to have a few more points.
Third down and 8 for the Bucks. And timeout is being called. The Buckeyes used their first in the second half. Cooper not happy about that, and we'll take a break. A little break for the Snake. Hoping his defense can get him that football back.
He doesn't look like he's too excited. I mean, he's very calm and relaxed.
Derek Rogers flops over to the outside, just trying to get some daylight.
Like a pressure defense, and it is.
They pick up Rogers, incomplete. Jermaine looking for the tight end, D.J. Jones, coming off the line, but the pressure was there.
They loaded up 4 guys to the left side of the offense. They couldn't handle everybody, but Jermaine handled the pressure. He got rid of the ball quickly. He just didn't throw it accurately. If you're going to get rid of the ball quickly, you still have to get your feet set to throw the ball.
Fourth down and 8. Bartholomew. Now Redmond from the 35 slips at the 45-yard line. Well, Dick, Rogers flopped over on that other side and was able to get a little heat on this time.
Well, they like to keep him away from the tight end if they can. If he's on the tight end side, he'll be wide. So he's wide right now, working upfield on Golston, number 50. Gets a heart, but the ball's being thrown up inside. They've got to get a little more pressure up inside to make the quarterback hold the ball. Then Rogers might get there.
Orlando takes a break. Hawk and Battle are the running backs behind Plummer. Arizona State opens with a power formation. They're going to pound away, and Battle picks up almost 5 yards.
I guarantee you, Dan Cassetto, offensive line coach coordinator, went in there and said, listen, you big jug butts, we haven't blocked anybody yet. Let's come off the ball and get after him. We don't have to be fancy, call counters and reverses. Let's get after him. That time, they came off the ball like they meant it.
Coach gets fired up.
Well, I know Cassetto's attitude. I've been around that guy. He'll get after him.
Second and 5. Battle brings the end around, and it's Poole. Midfield, first down, inside the 40-yard line. So Poole may have been shut out as a receiver, but they'll find a different way to put the football in his hand.
And the key to that kind of reverse is you run it off one of your great plays. Their favorite play is the counter play. They start it one way, and they pull all the linemen. You'll see them going to the left. Hey, come out there. Old Jake looked for somebody to block. He said, oh, gosh, I'm glad I didn't have to hit him. Good open field running right here. He's done this a number of times this year.
Kelly, the free safety, forcing him out of bounds, but not before. Poole picked up a first down at the Bucks 38. Jackson is the short wide receiver. Battle with Miller trying to trip him up, and he was able to stumble forward for a couple of yards. Jake Plummer asking for a little assistance. He wanted him to repeat the play from the sideline. Poole is out far to the right. Jackson slot. Quick count. Throw back left side. Boyer dueling Howard. Diving attempt again. But this time, no catch.
What they did that time, Boyer, 24, on the left side, away from action, tried to run a lull and do the sleep route. He came off the ball and just relaxed and then took off. Bottom of your screen right here, you see what I'm talking about. He comes off, he pauses, as the quarterback rolls away from him. See, he'll come off, now look at him pausing. Now he takes off and tries to use that sprinter speed, but Ty Howard did a good job of reading the intention.
Redmond checks in as the running back. Remember, he too is capable of throwing the ball. Here comes the blitz from Kelly. They're going back to Bush on that screen, 35. Good call against the safety blitz. And Bush powers inside the 15, and now the penalty flags come flying.
We saw them run that on the practice field the other day. Real good play. And in those blitzes, Brent, sometimes you lose that tight end, especially if he slow blocks, meaning he sets up, shows pass, and then releases. You don't see many screens to the tight end. Very good change-up call.
Against the Sun Devils.
These East Coast guys aren't used to working on the West Coast. It's taking them a little time. They got jet lag.
Our gain on the play is 23 yards.
Bruce is trying to get clarification as the confusion reigns again here with this Big East crew. The preliminary on this was a
right there
personal foul.
On Rugemer, right there. There shouldn't be any indecision on that.
Dead ball is a call. 15 yards.
At the end of the run, it'll still be a first down, Arizona State.
Mr. Rugemer is a very, very intense football player, but that was not smart football.
Great football legacy.
The ball back to the 28-yard line. First to 10.
They come quickly out of the huddle. This was almost by Boyer. So it is first down inside the 30 against pressure. Katzenmoyer explodes it, and Redmond bounces off the first hit. There's another penalty flag down, however. So we'll see if the officials can sort this one out any quicker.
I believe it's defensive offside.
By Grado on the tackle.
Again, that hard count working, Brian.
This one against the Bucks.
That Rugemer, he's a real interesting story, Brent. Yesterday, visiting with his father, his mother. His grandfather was there, really excited about being here.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
His grandfather, his two sons played here in the early 60s for Minnesota in the Rose Bowl. Now he's seeing his grandson play in the Rose Bowl.
23.
Very 86 years old, Grandpa was, and he was really excited about being here. Been through many surgeries, and Mr. Rugemer said, you know, Grandpa may not be around if he didn't have somebody to watch play football.
You know, we're going to have some seismic hits between Hawk and Katzenmoyer before this baby's over. Battle sprinting out. Winfield made the first hit as he came across the nickel back.
Real good job by Mike Grable, defensive lineman, getting penetration up there, making the play bounce outside right now.
By Grado.
Top of your screen, 94. Winfield inside 68. See that right there. He's on Pat Thompson, 67. He pushes the play back, and then old Antoine, number 11, can come up there and finish it off with some help from 3 other guys.
Let me correct myself on Winfield's number. It goes to number 11 coming up in that corner spot, the nickel back. Second down. This is Hawk getting his carry, and what effort he showed. He came away from Mr. Vrabel that time, didn't he, as he kept driving.
Well, they pulled Big Pat Thompson, the right guard. He's a 310-pounder, and got him out there, and he came up in behind him. But Jeff Polk is built low to the ground at 6'1", about 245. He bench presses the weight room. I asked him the other day in visiting with him. You'll see the pull right here, right side of your center, number 67, kicking out right there. There's Polk. He doesn't need any blockers. He gets those pads down, takes people on, and runs over and advances the ball 3rd and inches.
Orlando Pace has checked into the defensive unit. On 3rd and 1, goal line look by the Buckeyes, which means that Orlando Pace is in. Battle couldn't get away from number 13, Damon Moore.
Damon Moore has done that all year, Brent. Not a great pass defender, just a real fine tackler. He loves those situations where it's he and the ball carrier. He can make the play. Orlando Pace there, number 75, defensive left tackle. He has an inside gap, got his pads up too high. That's why he gets knocked off the ball. The ball's forced to the outside, and Damon makes the play. But it's 4th down right now, alert fake. The chances are they won't.
Jake Plummer is the quarterback. It is 4th and short. Neese, if he kicks it, a 37-yarder. And Neese boosts the Sun Devils into their first lead of the day. Who knows how big that might be in Arizona State's drive for what they hope will wind up with a national championship. The Sun Devils lead it by 3.
Bo and Ellie, you're watching Bowl Week right here on Classic Sports Network.
Classic Bowl Week is brought to you by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth.
Passed by you during the course of a college football season that are entertaining and interesting. Jake Plummer. Now think about it. Jake Plummer. What if you were Zane Grey or Max Brand or one of the great Western writers? Wouldn't Jake Plummer be the sheriff? I mean, he'd wear a white hat, ride a paint horse, hang the 6-gun low, wear a checkered shirt, clean bandana. I mean, got to be a sheriff. So Jake came down from Boise to Tempe and stayed and made history. And he's driving John Cooper and the Ohio State Buckeyes nuts, just like he did so many others. In the other locker room, there's a quiet youngster with a fast arm waiting to become a hero. Joe Germain. Now, few people who follow the Buckeyes knew about Joe Germain. But to do what he's about to do in the Rose Bowl made him everybody's conversation. Joe Germain, waiting his turn.
It's time now for the defense to stand up. And Greg Belisari asked for a little help just moments ago on the other side of the ball, telling Pepe Pearson, let's get with it. We're down 3, and the defense is playing like a Rose Bowl champion. Why doesn't the offense join us? Now Stanley and Springs are back deep as the Bucks need something on special teams, anything to get them going here in this football game. Springs will try it from coming out of the end zone. 15, 20, to the 25-yard line, and Joe Germain continues as the Buckeye quarterback, which leads me directly to your question, Dick. You would have stayed with Stanley Jackson.
Yeah, I'm sort of confused. He moved the team. He was 6 for 12 passing, you know, and I know they planned to play them both, but I would have thought they would come back with him right now. 6 for 12, Jermaine 1 for 2, but Stanley was the guy that scrambled around and threw the good balls downfield. One of them, they didn't give him the catch on it, but I don't know.
Above the waist, against the return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Now, another problem for the Buckeyes is that penalty goes against them on the kickoff return, and Joe Germain checks back in to see if he can do something, and now it's very tough field position. They'll be coming out against Bruce Snyder's defense from the 12-yard line. And Snyder starting to feel much better. His, as Dick told you at halftime, has been a great second-half team. Rodgers over to the Goldston side. Fake, Jermaine time and a diving attempt by Stanley. Makes the catch there at the 29-yard line.
See that little token fake inside there to the tailback. It freezes the linebacker just enough to allow that deep square in. Now here they have good pass protection. Rogers on the left side on Golston right there doing a good job. He's got his hands on him. That's legal. You can use him. Good time. He's going to have to start coming underneath those tackles that are walling him off to the outside. He has that kind of quickness.
Yeah, Rogers put that inside move on Nebraska for that third safety. Now they've got a tight end, Jones, over on him on the left. Jermaine going to fake again. Comes to the middle, caught on the fly. The Buckeyes break Stanley. 72-yard touchdown. This quarterback controversy is history.
I told you he should have stayed in there and played. Phil Snow, defensive coordinator, said, no, I called the right coverage. This is the one advantage Joe Germain has, Brent. He is a little sharper passer, a little more accurate coming into this ball game and has been in the practice. Again, those two tight ends condense that defense, constrict it, the play and run, the play action. Good call, good change up, big play.
Longest pass play for a touchdown this season for the Bucs. Josh Jackson, Bartholomew, the punter, will hold it. And the Buckeyes regain the lead. Demetrius Stanley.
Demetrius Stanley right there on Jason Simmons, number 10. See, man-to-man, he gave him just a little bit wrinkling. You see that nice burst to the inside. No safety help inside, so the quarterback, Jermaine, could throw the ball away from the defender and pull him across the field. And here he is, and Orlando Pace did a nice job on Rogers.
It was Orlando Pace dropping back to pick up Derek Rogers on the left side, and as a result, the Buckeyes have regained the lead at the Rose Bowl.
Welcome back to the 1997 Rose Bowl between Ohio State and Arizona State. We rejoin the action at the beginning of the fourth quarter with the Sun Devils on the 50, trailing 14-10.
This is why life can be tough for a quarterback. Take a look at the hit delivered by Friedman on Jermaine. And over on the sideline, Jermaine has been receiving medical attention as he was slammed to the turf. He came into the game, we were told by Jack Arute, with a cut already under the chin, and that hit by Friedman reopened it. Now it's a Sun Devils ball. We start the final quarter. They trail it in their bid to be a national champion. 5-4. Here is Battle, the running back, and he makes it to the 42-yard line. That's a first down for the Sun Devils.
They came with that same blitz off the slot. Now the receiver in the slot signaled the quarterback that he was coming. I don't think they audibled. They already had it called. Their Dan had a signal to the quarterback. Your call. Go with it.
A gain of 8 yards.
The Buckeyes using almost an exclusive nickel defense against the three wide receivers of the Sun Devils. Boyer in motion. Drops it. At the 35-yard line. Second down and 10.
Yeah, now they're starting to use motion now to loosen up that man-to-man coverage. Taking a look at the numbers here after the third quarter. OSU now at 193 to 165. Only one turnover in this football game. ASU picked up a little bit time of possession in that third quarter. First downs, 10 to 13.
Second down and 10. Boyer goes in motion. Left slot, they'll drop it off down to Battle. Alley bounces off of Moore to the 31-yard line. Another first down, Sun Devils. Battle and the Devils are driving.
Very Battle is strong. We mentioned that earlier, Brent. That time he's running up field good, and he gets his pads down quickly when he has to, and instinctively ricochets off there and moves that for the first down. Boy, is he going to be a good one. He's got another year of eligibility. Little swing pass screen pattern coming out there. Lays it off nice. And now he's out there in the open field. He can make a decision where he wants to go. And that's a good tackler. You should wrap your arms, though, in Damon Moore, number 13.
And Moore is still down on one knee. That is Moore who is being tended to. The Sun Devils had already come up to the line of scrimmage, but it was noticed that Damon was down, and so it probably means that Shea Bryant checks in. Yes, number 18 replaces Damon Moore at safety for the Buckeyes. Now, Shea's had some experience.
Yeah, he played in all 12 games last year, Brent. He's played in all the games this year, too. He has some experience, but he is not a Damon Moore.
Poole, Boyer, and Jackson, the wideouts. Comes the blitz. And the whistle before Kelly came across the line of scrimmage. But he was coming again.
They really come after you.
Dead ball foul. False start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty, and remain first down.
Well, the last time Bruce Snyder's team threatened, they turned it over. This time, a false start, and they're penalized 5 yards.
Sometimes, you know, the offensive linemen up there, they see that blitz coming, and they get a little shaky, and they move, and they cannot lift that hand.
It has allowed Moore to return to the defensive backfield. Shaken up momentarily. The safety for the Buckeyes is back for first and 15.
They jumped into the bare front now.
Short drop, got Boyer, drops it. Sean Springs was coming up to deliver a message, and it was incomplete.
Again, using movement to loosen the defense. But, you know, when you're throwing to a man in movement, out of motion, moving from the backfield, you've got to throw it accurately or he can't catch and run.
Dick, whereas in the first half, Springs was locked up on Poole for almost all of the 30 minutes. He's off of him right now.
Right, and you know, when they play zone, then they'll loosen back off him. So they're obviously slipping a zone in there once in a while, Brent.
So now as he goes out, split out to the left side, Springs has him. Plummer looks back, incomplete, should have been caught by the tight end, and it was dropped that time by Kendall.
Good call, a little crossing pattern by the two tight ends. They sent Bush, 82, upfield, wanted to bring Kendall underneath him, just threw it a little bit behind him, though. Catchable football. That pressure is bothering him a little bit. There's wide receiver coach there, Coach Pflugrad. See, they're going to signal now. They got 3 guys giving the signal. Only one of them is alive.
And that backup quarterback, number 11, is tall, folks. You weren't imagining anything. Campbell is 6 foot 8 inches tall over there on that sideline. Now, 3rd down and 15. Jackson locked up with Howard. Springs is well off a Poole. And Kelly stepped into that neutral zone. Battle is hit. Hit quickly.
Jake Plummer's doing a good job of holding the snap count. They use an erratic count. It's not rhythmic, so he can hold it. And that's got the guys across the line of scrimmage. Just as long as you don't move yourself offensively, you're all right.
You know, I'm having a hard time believing what I'm seeing. I mean, wasn't he standing and wasn't there movement in the neutral zone?
The helmet was over the ball.
Regardless, Battle's down, and suddenly it is 4th down, and that's a tough break for the Sun Devils. Lance Anderson's in, and Sean Springs will stand back on the Buckeyes' 10-yard line. There's some weird things go on a Rose Bowl pass.
Dead ball foul. Delay of game. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
He wanted that. Not deliberate, so that the punter can back up a little bit more. He'd like to bury the Buckeyes if they can. So Arbuckle's special team took that penalty deliberately at the 12:56 mark here of the final quarter. 14-10. Buckeyes are upsetting. Or shouldn't we say upsetting? They were the favorites of this game. Low punt, trying to get it out of bounds, trying to get coverage downfield, and it is out of bounds. Beautifully done by Anderson, rolling out at the 6-yard line. So the Buckeyes will be coming out now from very tough field position with a quarterback who was shaken up in his last possession. This could be a huge play in this football game. We'll see if the Arizona State defense can take advantage of it. We come back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
Jake Plummer leads Arizona State against Ohio State in the 97 Rose Bowl on Classic Sports Network.
These aerial shots, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in nearby Carson, California. The pilot, John Creighton from Torrance, California. 12:47 left in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State with a 4-point lead. Joe Germain shaken up on the last play. Blood down on the front of his jersey now. Coming out from the Buckeyes, 6-yard line. The Sun Devils, they smell that blood right now. Schweda tries to get across. Pepe's got the hole on the right-hand side. Now, from the backside, he's brought down, but now before he's bailed him out with a 12-yard run, Derek Rogers chasing him down, and Matt Calhoun gets the job done for Germain and the Buckeyes.
He did an excellent job. Matt Calhoun, lead blocking. That's what he's in there for. As you earlier said, he's just like a fullback in there, or a guard. Here he is, left-hand side of your screen, right-hand side, up in there. Pow! Nice contact by both people. There's the hole to run in.
As big a run as the Buckeyes have had all game long. That bails them out of deep trouble, out to the 18-yard line. They give it to the fullback to the 21-yard line. That time Mike Jacobs, who's up in that booth calling the plays, sent Keller back in the game, and he got the carry. John Cooper's coaching staff underwent a shake-up. Joe Hollis, who's down on the field, was the offensive coordinator, and Hollis will become the head coach at Arkansas State. And Walt Harris, who's upstairs, who had been sending in plays, he took the head coaching job up in Pittsburgh. And there you see the great veteran Hollis down on the side, was on some Georgia staffs down there.
Coach Phil Snow.
So second down. Pepe Pearson can't get away from Rogers. There's the speed. He brings him down. Tackle for a loss at the 16-yard line.
Boy, when he has an angle to move inside out, and you see they stun it too, and he went underneath. He didn't charge straight ahead. He came underneath, top of your screen. See, he stunts underneath. Now he has the quickness to jump back, inside out, and make that kind of play. No substitute for speed on defense, and he has it.
11:23. Here is third down at 12. The ball spotted at the 17-yard line. Buckeyes don't want to turn it over down here. Germain short drop, puts it into Boston's hands, and he'll go down at the 19-yard line, far short of that first down. And that was Marcus Soward, the senior corner, wrapping him up. And so here's Bartholomew in to punt. And you have to believe, if ever the Sun Devils were looking for a play now on their special teams, it's right here.
But that also, on that defensive call by Phil Snow, demonstrates what confidence they have in their defense, because they were up in the slots playing bump and run tight coverage. Boy, you've got to have confidence in your people to do that on third down.
Redmond picked up on the bounce, trying to save a loss. Does a decent job. Back to the 32-yard line. The Sun Devils are 68 yards away. They trail it by 4 in their bid to become a national champion at the Rose Bowl.
We'll be right back with more of Classic Bowl Week as Orlando Pace leads Ohio State against Arizona State in the 97 Rose Bowl on Classic Sports Network.
Who is a man with brand new price for brother man?
Mr. Potato.
Can you dig it? Who's a cat at Burger King? Taste the fries of his new thing.
Mr. Potato Head.
Right on.
Get hip to the new incredibly delicious Burger King fries. Hot and crispy, baby. They beat McDonald's fries in a nationwide taste test.
I'm talking about Mr. Potato Head.
We can dig it.
Arizona State defense has yielded only 2 passing touchdowns. Now it's up to Jake Plummer and the offense. 14 of 27. 1 touchdown, but the 1 interception. The Big Cat, Katzen Moyer. Redmond is the running back. The Toss is to Redmond behind Paul. Paul cuts down Katzenmoyer, and Redmond is down at the 35.
Well, that's the best place to run the football against that Bear defense. They are all up in there tight, 8-man up in there, and they just flip it and get outside quickly. You need one block at the corner.
Drama starts to build, and you can tell it in the faces of these young men. And the coach is on the sideline. The man who's under pressure. This is Redmond again, plowing straight ahead, short of the first down.
Ryan Miller. Wendell Garnett on the stop.
Springs a little bit dinged here.
4 yards.
Third down and 2. Boyer in motion. Redmond, and he stopped short of it as Kelly, the safety, broke across and broke up the play before it developed.
They had 4 people coming off the one side. They went right into the blitz. Red Puckett right there made a real good call. Guessed correctly. You're not always going to be right, but that time Fred was right. He ran right into the blitz. No place to go. Top of your screen, you'll see him here. Here he comes on the top. 34 right there. Bang, underneath. Good push up inside, too, by number 68, Winfield Garnett.
Boston awaits the Anderson punt. A boomer. What a leg this young man possesses. A chance. It's down inside the 5-yard line. They'll spot it at the 2. So again, it's up to Mr. Snyder's defense to get the ball back if he is to have a chance at a national title.
This Classic Sports Network presentation is brought to you by Ricola, the all-natural herb cough drop imported from Switzerland. Soothes throats and relieves coughs naturally. Sports Network.
The story. Jermaine on the sideline for the Buckeyes. Stanley Jackson, the starter in this game, now returns. A very tough spot for Jackson. Coming out from the Buckeyes' 3-yard line. The hand is to Pearson. Buck loose. He's 20-yard line. He's free. Sauer in a foot race has the angle, and he pushes him out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Pepe Pearson rested more today as Wiley and Keller have been used as running backs. Comes up with a huge bailout run of 72 yards here in the 4th quarter.
And they go right back to the reason they're here. Run right at people, lead the fullback, make contact, and give it to a back that wants to run hard. Good lead block by the fullback, not a dominating block, not the reason they broke the play. Good running right there. They blitzed from the outside. He ran through some arms. He has excellent speed. They say he's the fastest tailback they've had there in years. He demonstrates it right here on this run.
First down and 10 for the Bucks. The tight end moves over on the Derek Rogers side of the defense. Wiley now in the game. And Wiley to the 32. If there is anything different that we have seen with Coach Jacobs running Cooper's offense, it is the fact that he has utilized more manpower in this game. He has had separate packages, not only for his quarterbacks, but using Wiley to rest Pearson. Now, Jacobs, who's calling the plays for the first time today, is he's over on the left, and he came off Don Nealon's staff at West Virginia. He's a veteran play caller. He will be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. And I say nice job with this baby, at least so far. Long way to go. Second down now and 7. This is Wiley, excellent receiver. Timeout call by Jackson. He'll come over to the side.
So he ran out of time. He's saying, guys, get the play in sooner.
We'll take a break. Cooper's Buckeyes lead it by 4.
We'll be right back with more of Classic Bowl Week as Orlando Pace leads Ohio State against Arizona State in the '97 Rose Bowl on Classic Sports Network.
Susie, you're on.
Burger King is introducing incredibly delicious new fries. A special guest is about to read. Here he is.
Let's see. Oh, on behalf of Burger King, it's a privilege to introduce the fries that'll change history.
The crispy new Burger King fries beat McDonald's fries in a nationwide taste test.
Thank you.
Mr. Potato Head.
My client has spoken.
Wow.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Potato Head, for the record. Is that your real name?
If you got a beard, we've got your number. The adjustable Maverick beard and mustache trimmer with 6 different settings. Man, does this do a number on beards. Maverick.
Looks in green, but the New York Jets have to think about this man as number 1 as he catches a defense stunting and he buries the lineman on that side.
I know. The other thing you don't want to do is stand up in front of it. Look at this guy. And he's just a young, immature guy at, at 340 pounds.
Second down. Here comes pressure from the Sun Devils. Wiley steps free. Oh, if he had just maintained his balance, he was gone. There was pressure coming up from that side of the defense, and Wiley had the hole.
And give the fullback some credit on this one. This is how you're supposed to do it as a lead blocker. Take people on at the point, and did Calhoun Everett do it? He did a great job on it. Follow this young man right here as he goes in. He's been doing it for a long time. Number 39, pow! Look at that block. Nobody wins, nobody loses. Running back advances the ball. Pretty good running, too, by that young freshman from San Diego.
The Bucks at the Sun Devils 22. Pressure time for both sides. Wiley, whole left side, and a great tackle by Vanderlei. There's a young man who should have been first team Pac-10. Still can't believe how the coaches ignored him this year in the Pac-10. He was a wonderful linebacker all year long for Coach Snyder.
Well, Brent, you make that comment. They're the #1 defensive team in the Pac-10. They only had one guy make the first string Pac-10 defense. Good coaching, I guess, huh? Something. There's a good coach. I know that for a fact. Thumbs up, he said.
Second down and 9. Stanley in Boston have caught touchdown passes. Jackson threw away from Boston that time. Will drop back off against Soward.
Yeah, see, what they did, they came up and pressured, and Friedman was coming over there to double, so they had him short and long. Here's Rogers coming to the outside. He's going to be picked up by a little running back right there, and he doesn't get his body into him, see, and Rogers gets his hands up. A running back should block through that defender, not through that defender.
The Arizona State offense over on that sideline, hoping that the defense can hold on here. 4-point Buckeye lead. Matt Keller, who's been a big player in this game, is back in as the lone running back behind Jackson.
And Wiley's out as a wide receiver. Oh, pass interference.
Intercepted. Tillman.
That's pass interference.
Came through Stanley. I still don't see a flag down.
No, hey, he interfered with him, in my opinion, from up here, Brent. No flag, no penalty. I know Buster Stanley thought he was interfered with, but it looked like they hooked him.
9 yards to go.
The right side of your screen coming in the middle now, right there.
Running up for a field goal against.
Hard to tell.
Jackson into attempt the field goal. 37-yarder. Bartholomew, the punter, is the holder.
He's at 65% in his career from this distance. Good kicker.
Lock. Loose. Sun Devils.
He lost it.
And the big fella Rogers is rolling. There is a penalty flag down, however, so hold on.
Penalty flag. Back at midfield.
Bernstein deflected it.
He's done it before. He came into the game with 3 blocks. That gives me advantage of being 6'8". Didn't you earlier say a special teams play is going to take place in this ball game? You were right again, Mr. Musburger. See what we got. This may take until midnight.
Derek Rogers. pick up the ball.
After the block and after possession by Arizona State, during the run back, an illegal forward pass against the returning team, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Here's Bernstein there, right center of your screen, 94. Here we go, right up there. Good penalty. He should never get in those inside gaps. Should never happen. 94 right there. Turns his body. He's a loosey-goosey guy for a 6'8" guy.
Now Jake Plummer quickly at the line here on first down. Throws back left deep. Got his pull, and it's broken up at the last instant by Shawn Springs. Poole had a step on 24, and Springs came back and made the play. Second and 10.
Brent, I really believe Jake waited just a little too long to throw that ball. He should get that ball in the air just a little bit quicker because Poole had a step. See right here in the middle of your screen, he's waiting for that ball to get there, and good recovery speed by Springs. He flips it with his right hand. Really a good shot right there. Isn't that a great shot? Look at that right hand get it instinctively. See, he was watching his eyes. He was watching his eyes.
Second and 10, and it's Redmond. Redmond to the 47-yard line, and Moore making the stop for the Buckeyes. So Derek Rogers, with his return of a blocked field goal for what the Sun Devils were hoping was a touchdown, comes back. And you can see the infraction here. The forward pass, it was ruled on this play. Rogers outrunning Josh Jackson, but it'll all come back. Plummer's got Poole, and Poole now with his first catch, and it is big. A first down for the Sun Devils here at the 4:48 mark. And here comes Jake the Snake one more time.
And I'm sort of surprised they elected to back off and play a little bit looser. Brent, you mentioned that earlier. He's still in man coverage. He's playing an inside technique. He was sitting back off, but playing man coverage, you don't normally look back into the quarterback. You normally concentrate a little bit more on that receiver.
First down. Ball's at the Bucks 44.
Redmond out as a wide receiver. That's on Damon Moore, strong safety.
Plummer gets away, drops it to Polk, safety valve, and they make the most out of Nelson. Pick up a couple of yards on that.
You know, they got what they wanted out of the formation. They just didn't utilize it. They had a running back out there on a strong safety and didn't take advantage of it. Yes, there was pressure, but he should have thrown the ball quickly. He had a shot at it.
Arizona State, the comeback kids all year, trying to do it again. And the Sun Devils hope to state their case of becoming national champions. Here's the toss. Redmond hit by Moore. 39-yard line.
Filled just like you would coach him to fill the ball. They cross-blocked. They blocked the tight end down. Pulled the big tackle, Rugemer, up there. There looked like there was a nice lane. And Mr. Moore, Damon Moore, we've called his name a number of times, came up there today and really filled that play nicely. They toss it quickly. You'll see right side of your screen. Here he comes, inside out of the play. Boom, pads down. Nice technique, Damon. It's raining pretty hard out there right now.
And now it is 3rd and 5. Plummer couldn't get it this time. 4th down in a season coming up. And Bruce Snyder calls timeout in the rain in Pasadena. 3 minutes left. The Sun Devils are down by 4. Might be the biggest play of the year coming up for the Sun Devils. That's why they want to talk about it. We'll come right back.
The waiting is over. The New York Rangers are the Stanley Cup champions. It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way.
Classic Sports Network, the greatest new network in the history of sports.
Here on Classic Sports Network.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. We bring in 1997 here on ABC. Let's just hope that Florida and Florida State, as dramatic as this one has been here in Pasadena, the rain starting to come down. This the most important call of the game on both sides. Jake Plummer facing 4th and 4. The Sun Devils trailing Ohio State by 4 points, 14-10. Redmond is the running back, and Boyer's the motion receiver. Here comes the blitz. They go one-on-one against Howard. Got it! First and goal for the Sun Devils. It is Lindsey Jackson, number 83, who makes perhaps the biggest play of the season against number 2, Ty Howard.
Good coverage, too. Just an excellent throw. Blitz all the way. That was the Bear defense. They brought everybody in the kitchen sink. Pressure inside. He's going to play him right there. No hand contact. Throwing the ball nicely over that outside shoulder. See, perfect throw. Can't do it any better. Tough to cover that one.
Now first and goal. Hawks, the fullbacks, for 1 against the heart of the Buckeye defense.
Boy, I'll tell you, I don't know if I wouldn't have thrown the ball on first down there. The one thing I learned from Sid Gilman a long time ago when we were working together, when you get inside the red zone, try to score on the first down, especially in tight situations. This guy knows what he's doing. I don't question it.
There's no second guessing their call on 4th and 4. 29 yards for the first down, and now it'll be second down and goal. Ball on the 7. Three wideouts for Plummer, and Bush is the tight end on the right-hand side of the formation. Plummer hit by Belisari. Held on to the football, wrapped it up. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line as Belisari comes backside, and Snyder uses his second timeout.
What a career this young man has had. You just can't say enough great things about that kind of football player. Top of your screen, number 30 coming in. Now, Pincus 92 collapses it inside. Roquet moving outside just a little bit late. He's got to get out there quicker. He was zoning off inside, but didn't move inside out quick enough. And Belisari comes around there playing his last game as a Buckeye. One day he'll be operating as either one of them. Hope it's you, not me. What a football player.
Now the Arizona State offense going over to be around Jake Plummer. Remember, this is a team that has pulled magic out all season long. They've come down to 147. And how they got the football back, it was this block by Bernstein.
Number 94, right to the left side of the center. Came in that outside of the guard and inside. And see, they did. That was a planned maneuver. See, they power block Pace back so he could not close that inside gap efficiently. And that's how Bernstein got inside.
They used a throwback pass to Jake Plummer in the same stadium against UCLA.
They're coming again.
Plummer in trouble, steps away, cuts free, breaks loose, 5, touchdown, Sun Devils. The Snake does it again. This team won't die. You can cut a snake's head off, but he continues to live. Robert Neese.
He better make it. 60 to 60 coming in.
Now 1:40 to go. Jake the Snake and the amazing Sun Devils of Arizona State have stated their case, at least offensively.
They have done it all year. That is their persevere, no question. When you're in blitz coverage, there's nobody on the quarterback. This is not a draw. He scrambles up inside, no one there to take him. Here goes Katzenmoyer up inside. He can't get to him. Elusiveness right there. Determination. Finkus comes over. Now just guts running and instincts to know where that end zone is. Look at him, stick it in there. He's done it before. Wow. If I were John Cooper right now, I would be almost ready to die. What a minute. Look at this. No, he's not a rattlesnake. He's more like a cobra.
And when he strikes, it hurts.
It hurts.
Back in October, Jake did it in the fourth quarter just like he's done it here against UCLA. Threw for a touchdown. Ran for a touchdown. Caught a pass for a touchdown. But now, Arizona State's kicking team needs to hold up against Sean Springs and Demetrius Stanley. Anderson keeps it on the ground. High hop. Fielded by the short man Keller, the fullback.
Don't want to go out of bounds.
So this was the scene back in October against UCLA. Twice they came from 21 points down. What I want you to watch, after Jake catches the pass from Redmond, I want you to watch the run. This came at the left end of the Rose Bowl. Watch him weave his way and dive to pay dirt. Does that seem familiar? We have a dive at the other end zone just moments ago. Joe Germain, who threw the long touchdown pass, has replaced Stanley Jackson. The Buckeyes have only one timeout left and 1:33. Field goal does them no good. Tight end, incomplete. Almost intercepted by Friedman.
He wanted to stretch the defense sideline to sideline and get down the seam. That Friedman has real good reaction.
Let me correct myself on one thing. They can't win it with a field goal, but they can get it into overtime.
You bet.
Second down at 10. Slot to the right. Germain. Got his man incomplete. He was wide open that time, DJ Jones was.
I'll tell you, and Sueda, number 99 as well, as Rogers put real good pressure on him, and Germain maintains real good poise. He's held the football, stood away from the rush, just stood in there, threw almost the perfect throw. Good concentration, good poise for it. There's two John Coopers reacting there. That's his son standing right behind him.
Third down and 10 for Germain and the Bucks. Got it to Stanley. That's a first down. And it stops the clock in college, remember, on the first down. So it's 1:16. Jason Simmons, the defensive back on that side. Buckeyes up at the line. Germain, far side, incomplete. Second down, he wanted Stanley, and there is a penalty flag flying on that far side. You know, as I think back to that October Saturday, it is so eerie because in that game also, it was Bernstein who blocked the field goal in that game. And it was Jake Plummer, of course. We just saw that when he touched down. Ineligible receiver downfield. Very costly. The Snake has done it again. He did not win the Heisman, but you can certainly make a case that that man right there was the most valuable player in college football to his team this year. What I'm saying is entirely different. I'm certainly not arguing with the numbers Danny Werfel put up.
Only out there, penalties declined. Play second down.
what no one should forget is that this Arizona State team authored, in our mind, the biggest victory of the year early on when they shut out Nebraska. Now it is 2nd and 10 for the Sun Devils. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
And it has come to 3rd and 10 with 1:04 to go.
Damian Richardson defending.
See, again, there's 3 receivers set, spreading from side to sideline, and trying to pick the guy that's singled up, going down the hole. But they're keeping 2 safeties back there right now and playing across the front man-to-man, not blitzing anybody, but trying to get a good rush with the down 4.
Now leading the cheers. Steps away from the pressure.
There he's got it.
Stanley again, and the clock will stop. Now the Buckeyes are only 40 yards away. And remember, because of the overtime rule, a field goal puts us into overtime in this game. It's 17-14. Buckeyes don't need a touchdown. They don't have to try to win it here in the last 53. Jermaine got him again. Stanley out of bounds inside the 30-yard line, and they've stopped the clock as they go out of bounds, and they'll move the chains on the first down. 46 seconds, and Jake Plummer might want to think about a few plays in overtime.
Yeah, and Phil Snow, defensive coordinator, might want to think about tightening up this coverage. They've been more efficient, playing up much tighter and more aggressive right now. Granted, you're taking a chance, but right now you can't let them keep moving the football.
The Buckeye special team might want to think how to block if they go in for a field goal here, having had the last one blocked. First down and 10 for the Bucks. Jermaine got a man. No, it is stopped. Play was stopped before the snap. That's why Stanley was not looking in. He knew that it had been whistled dead.
I think Jermaine started to pull out, as did the tight end move when he started to jerk out of there.
Dead ball foul, false start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty.
See, Jermaine right there came out, and then the tight end to the left side of your screen, which you could not see on that, he moved with the quarterback when he moved up.
Every yard is important, too, if you're maneuvering to attempt a field goal down here.
Yeah, because Josh Jackson is not a long-range field goal kicker, Brett. As long as 39.
Please, with 46 seconds to the game clock. 46 seconds.
Well, the Buckeyes will take the additional 3. Thank you very much.
Jackson's career-long field goal is 39 yards.
The Buckeyes have only 1 timeout. They would love to keep that to get the field goal unit on the field if need be.
46 seconds put on the clock.
So clock management against the Sun Devils.
We got 46 minutes on this.
Well, the Buckeyes will take that in a hurry.
In a hurry. Please, there he is.
17-14, Arizona State up 3.
These are the hard defensive calls right now. Do you take a chance and come after them? Do you play them tight man-to-man? It's been effective most of the football game.
Joe Jermaine. Got one-on-one against Simmons. And there's a penalty flag on the play. Remember, it's not first and goal now, but that's what it is. And yes, indeed, that's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down in the college game. And now this moves Jackson back clearly within his range.
Here's the tight coverage now. The safety was working over there to help him, so he had help deep. Richardson was right there, and to help him right there, see, he's pushing him with his right hand right there. You can't do that. One more look at it. See, that right hand is shoving on him. He can't do that.
Now they are down to the 20-yard line.
See, that right there is a 37-yard field goal.
One timeout remaining for the Buckeyes. Jermaine authoring a splendid drive here in the closing moments of this Rose Bowl. Fake. Looks back the other way. It's open if he wants to run. He threw it incomplete. There was an alley wide open. He's going to run all the way to the 10-yard line.
He might have run the thing in the end zone. There was nobody there, Brent. They were covered back there. They were doubling the outside wide receiver that way. He had a heck of a lane. You'll see what we're talking about. We take a high end zone look at the play, drop back, set up. He pumps left first. He wanted to run a little go pattern. It wasn't there. He feels the pressure. He gets outside. Look at the lane up inside. Look at the lane inside. Doesn't take it.
Wow. Fullback Keller had slipped out. Smith, the linebacker, was there. Jermaine avoiding the interception, so he threw it out over his head. Second down, now 10. Remember, the ball is at the Sun Devils 20.
Coming after him.
Jermaine calmly fired high.
Pass interference. Yeah, I wouldn't say that too, Stanley. Looked like he had a hold of him.
That's Courtney Jackson, the nickel man, 23, who had checked in. USC fans have a painful memory of him. He's the young man who scooped up that toss by Otten and dashed it in the overtime.
I saw pass interference, Brent. Excuse me. Top of your screen, Jackson, number 23. I don't know what the heck that is. If that is, those guys down there, the officials, ought to donate their checks to charity on that call. My gosh, that's too obvious. Excuse me, Brent.
Wow. No disagreement for me, but it's down at 10. Ball just inside the 20-yard line now. Over the middle, incomplete, and there's the flag.
Well, I didn't call it last time. I think I'll call it this time.
That's an automatic first down.
Well within field goal range right now.
They may not need the field goal.
They may not
get their touchdown in here in the last 24 seconds and win this. Soward committed the foul.
There it is, Soward, number 32, playing inside technique there. He comes back underneath it. There he is. Just hooks him. There's no way you can get away with that anywhere. Unless you're on the other side of the field.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Bruce Snyder on that Arizona State side has said over and over that negative events have not impacted us very much this year. They're about to be tested on that. 24 seconds to go. The Buckeyes still have a timeout remaining. They're down by 3, and they are now at the Sun Devils' 5-yard line.
The big thing, Brandon, is don't turn it over if you're throwing the football.
Keller is offset from Pepe. Jermaine going to throw it wide open. Got him. Buckeyes lead it. 19 seconds to go. And the freshman, David Boston, with his second touchdown pass of the game.
You know, he just used a little press move. He came off the line of scrimmage, moved to the inside, reverse pivot, and pushed to the outside, threw the strike, touchdown. Very well done. Wow, college football. No better game. Can Jake do it again?
It looked like John wanted to use his last timeout.
They can't believe it.
Chaos down there, and they're getting Wiley. They're rushing Wiley into the game to call the timeout. They attracted the referee's attention by sending the fastest man on the sideline after him before the snap.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about right now. Move to the inside, see, push, then wheel back to the outside right there, and for some reason, he dropped off it. Courtney Jackson, red redshirt freshman mistake. Again, to the right side of your screen. Good time. No pressure on him. Throws it wide to the outside, all alone. Courtney Jackson acted like he had some help.
You know, you feel pain for Bruce Snyder, but you really can feel joy for this man. 1-6 in bowl games, beaten by Michigan. Man who faces pressure every day in Columbus, Ohio, and who knows, maybe finally something good has happened to Coach Cooper and the Buckeyes.
And as you said, Brent, he does deserve it.
On the other side, this guy, the Coach of the Year, by any measurement, with the job he did with the Sun Devils, it looked like they pulled it off one more time. But it was the drive of the year as far as Buckeye fans are concerned. Joe Germain, who struck us as being very calm during that drive when he drove the Bucks down the field. Wasn't rattled, wasn't nervous. And now it'll be Jackson to see if he can put this one out of field goal range as far as Arizona State is concerned. They get at it and block it.
I think it was a low kick.
Bernstein again. Would you believe it? He has left them within field goal range with his second block kick here in the fourth quarter.
He came into the game with 3. He can really, he times it. Good sense of timing. He comes right from here. Number 94. He'll lead. You'll see him appear. Here he comes. Good timing. See, came up over the top. Instead of being down in a 4-point stand, coming through a gap like he was in blocking the field goal, he's back off and times the lead. Here he is right now. As long as he doesn't propel himself to using somebody else's body, that's a legal play.
What a great throw. 2017. Ohio State leads it, but only by 3.
It looked like they were going to call a 2-point play. In fact, the 2-point team was out there. John Cooper called them off at the last minute and sent the kicker out. So you got to begin to second guess. 2 points or 1 point. They got no points.
I think in that situation, though, Jack, you've got to kick the extra point. You don't think that's...
Yeah, I agree.
You got to get to 4 if you can.
I agree with you.
Here is the kickoff now. They're going to put it in Redmond's hands at the 15-yard line. Can they get a return? Alley right side out to the 34-yard line. Arizona State with 1 timeout left and 14 seconds, and the one fella that they want to stay away from is number 24, Sean Springs. He has been magnificent in that defensive backfield all day long.
They came in as the number 1 pass defense in the country, the number 6 defense overall in the country, and they proved why they're rated that high. They have earned the right. They'll be way back in a prevent defense.
And Jake throws for the first down to Bush. He'll get out of bounds, stop the clock at the 47-yard line. Just 7 seconds left and 1 timeout. So they need 1 long completion here, then use the timeout if they can hurry and get Neese on the field to attempt the field goal.
Yeah, plus the 7 seconds, Brent, the long completion might eat up the 7 seconds.
Exactly, Coach.
They should be 3 deep across there or 4 deep across. They're 3 deep across.